Bikinis for children. Now, when you see a headline like that, it sort of it triggers a lot of people, especially parents, because a lot of people believe that a bikini, when you take it as a piece of clothing, that it is a sexual piece of clothing. Now, I don't necessarily buy into that. A bikini, if it's worn by a model, in a photo shoot, can be sexy. But generally, a bikini wasn't invented to be sexy. A bikini is swimwear that's worn so you get a tan when you're on the beach. Well, New Look, which is a very well-known shop, I'm sure many of you have shopped there. New Look in the UK has been accused this week of sexualizing children by selling padded bikinis for girls aged just 9. So the high street chain is selling two-piece swimsuits in its children's department. Now I've looked at the bikinis they're selling. They're all in bright colours. They feature bras with sort of triangular cups, and they have matching bottoms that are secured by little tie pieces of string at the side. So several groups have hit out and contacted New Look, demanding that the bikinis are pulled from sale. One of these organisations are called Object, and they are an organisation which opposes sexual objectification of women. And they said, New Look needs to stop sexualising children. It's wrong and it's damaging. Take them away. We object. So just to make this very clear, this is a two-piece bikini. Comes in different styles, and it is for children aged 9 up, 9 to 15. So pretty much pre-teens. It's divided a lot of opinion online, and we want to hear from you how you feel about it. Here's my take on it. Yeah, they wouldn't stock these items if there weren't parents who buy them.
I honestly and genuinely don't understand what the issue is here. If a parent wants to buy a bikini for their preteen girl, what's the issue? How can that possibly be a problem? And this whole thing, even the mention of the word sexualization where it comes to young kids, I find just a little bit distasteful. Anybody who sees a bikini on a young girl as a sexualization of that young girl is a bit sick in the head, to be honest. Because nobody should look at a young girl in any sort of a sexual way. And therefore, I don't see it as sexualization at all.
Yeah, I think you're being too literal about this and you're reading into it too much. They're not saying that they find children in bikinis sexy. What they're saying
No, I know they're not.
What they're saying is that they believe that a bikini as a piece of clothing is It's a kind of a sexy object, isn't it? I mean, when you think of a bikini, you think of a Victoria's Secret model walking down the catwalk in a bikini. And is it really necessary for a child? I think of it, 9 years of age. But there are obviously, as you say, there are obviously parents who will
They wouldn't be selling them if parents weren't prepared to buy them. And if a parent wants to buy a bikini for their young girl, that's nobody's business bar the parent. Simple.
Okay, but do you not believe that children are being sexualized at a much younger age?
I think to even look at a bikini on a young girl in that way is just, there's something wrong. 085 825 2626 is our WhatsApp number. Do you have any issue with a bikini being sold for young girls? That's the question that we're asking. 085 825 2626 is our WhatsApp number. Is it an issue? Would you or have you put a bikini on your preteen girl? Send me a WhatsApp voice note right now to that number there, 085 825 2626, and let us know, do you see an issue with a bikini for a young girl? A lot of people don't have a problem with this because they buy them. And I think, what would you say to a parent who would buy a bikini for a girl?
It's mad. Your opinion on stuff like this completely changes when you have a daughter, and I have a daughter now, and these things go through your mind when you do have a young girl, because girls are kind of different to boys growing up. Girls, I think they want to grow up quicker than boys a lot of the time, don't they? And I was thinking about this yesterday when I saw the photograph of the bikinis. I can tell you now, there's no way in hell or high water that my daughter at 9 years of age, or even 10 or 11 or 12 or even 13 would be wearing a two-piece bikini.
Again, I'm going to ask the question, why? See? There
Okay,
you go.
no.
You don't have an answer. You don't have an answer.
I do have an answer. Because bikinis, by their very nature, and this is taking it down to brass tacks here. The bikinis, by their very nature, leave very little to the imagination. They put a lot of flesh on display, and as well, why would you need to be worried that your 10-year-old has tan lines? I mean, a 10-year-old doesn't worry about having tan lines, so why would you worry about it? So. Yeah, I think that is the reason, is because children should be innocent. And
and what's not innocent about a bikini? Why would you read anything into a bikini other than it's a swimsuit? For example, little boys wear just shorts. Their whole chest is exposed. Oh my God. It's a ridiculous argument. Let's have a listen to this. This topic drives this particular mother absolutely mad.
This conversation drives me crazy. If somebody looks at a child and they do bikinis for kids as young as like under 1, they do bikinis for all kids of all ages. And if somebody looks at them and thinks they're sexualizing themselves, or their parents are sexualizing them by them putting a bikini on them, there's something wrong with that person, because in no way do I ever look at a child in a bikini and look at them and think, oh my God, that looks too sexy on them, or no, it doesn't. They might look cute or they might look whatever, but they don't look sexy on a child. They're the people that are looking at them and have the problems are the only ones with the problem. If a parent or a child wants to wear one, let them wear it. Like, that's what they want to do. Let them wear it. They're not being sexy. They haven't got a woman's body in the bikini. It's just ridiculous.
It's just ridiculous. 085 825 2626 is our WhatsApp number. We're asking, do you have any sort of an issue with a child wearing a bikini, a preteen girl wearing a bikini? Does that upset you? Do you think that a child of that age wearing a bikini is being sexualized? Or do you think that this is a ridiculous conversation to be having? 085 825 2626 is our WhatsApp number. And we're hearing all sorts of... Well, in fact, I haven't heard a convincing argument on this. I really haven't, as to why it is an issue with a child wearing a bikini. Tig sent us this WhatsApp voice note on this subject to 085 825 2626.
Tell you something, lads. I live in the city centre, and I've been doing deliveries for the last couple of days, and I'm driving around the city centre. I've been in all the main city centre areas, and I tell you something, a bikini would be an upgrade to what some of the young ones are wearing these days. They're going around with practically nothing on, and even myself and my partner were walking to the cafe there the other day, and we seen kind of a bunch of girls, and there was a few lads there as well wearing shorts and t-shirts, but like Rebecca just looked at me and she said to me, what would you do now if our daughter was wearing that? And I said to her, no, not a chance. Like a bikini would be better than some of what they're wearing these days,
085 825 2626 is our WhatsApp number. Preteens with bikinis, do you have any issue with that? Sorry, you were going to say.
I'm saying, you're sitting there as liberal as you like, saying, it's okay, and you don't see the big problem with it. There's no way your daughter would have been wearing that sort of stuff when she was a preteen. In fact, she wasn't. I know she wasn't. No, but she wasn't.
Okay,
so why wasn't your daughter? Why didn't you go out and buy your daughter a two-piece bikini when she was for her 12th birthday?
No, I just didn't.
But why didn't? If she had asked you, if she had said,
but she didn't. I think that's probably why I didn't, because she didn't ask.
No, but had she asked you at 12 years of age, Daddy, I'm after seeing a lovely two-piece bikini. We're going on holidays to Spain this year. I'm after seeing a lovely two-piece bikini in the shop. Will you buy that for me? What would you have done?
I think I probably would have gotten it for her if she wanted it.
No,
because I don't see what the issue is.
There's no way her mother would have... you don't see what the issue is with a 12-year-old wearing a two-piece bikini?
No. 085 825 2626 is our WhatsApp number. Do you have an issue? This is a story from the UK as it happens, and new look under fire for sexualizing kids by selling padded bikinis for girls aged 9. And we're asking, do you have a problem with this? Does it bother you to see kids, preteen girls in bikinis? A lot of people... Okay, here's a message that's just come into us, and it says, I think Jeremy is trying to say not normal people around are looking at kids. How do you know that there isn't a paedophile somewhere looking at kids? There are horrible people out there.
I'm sure if that's the case, you may as well you may as well do what Michael Jackson used to do with his kids and let them go out with umbrellas on top of their heads and face masks on them. Paedophiles aren't going... If a paedophile wants to look at such images, they go onto the internet to look at them. So that's not the issue here.
085 825 2626 is our number if you want to get involved in this conversation. We're asking about kids, young girls wearing bikinis and whether or not this is an issue at all. Some people think it is a huge issue. This is a WhatsApp voice note from Mick.
I'm not sure about the bikini issue with preteens. Now, luckily enough, I don't have a daughter. So I can't really comment on it, but does it give the perverts an excuse to have a peek at it, if you know what I mean? Like I said, I don't know. Like I've seen young girls dress inappropriately walking the streets and in the shopping centres anyway. So do I see it as an issue? I don't think so, but... Well, like I say, it's kind of worrying at the same time, especially with people, young girls who are walking the streets wearing inappropriate gear, if you know what I mean. So that's all I can say on the matter, really.
Okay, 085 825 2626 is our WhatsApp number. And in fact, I think we have Mick on the line. Is that right? Mick, are you there?
Yeah. All right, Adrian, how's it going?
Good, thank you, Mick. Well, Mick, what's your view on... we just played your voice note there.
I wouldn't have an issue with it, to be honest, now, but it is kind of worrying at the same time because you get perverts looking at it.
But don't you...
Well,
but the point Jeremy made a second ago is that you're going to get perverts... Anyway, and these perverts probably are looking at their filth online as opposed to hanging around beaches, eyeing up little girls.
Well, that's the unfortunate circumstance of situations like that. You are going to get perverts everywhere, and like then they've got to get their kicks whether it's online or on the streets or anything like that as well. As long as the child doesn't get harmed.
Okay, so if you see a young preteen girl wearing a bikini, does it bother you? Do you hate to see it? Doesn't bother you at all?
No.
And I have to be honest, it doesn't bother me at all either.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't bother me either. But you would think to yourself, Jesus, have the parents no class? Have they no cop on? Like what are they doing to their child? It's like when you see a young girl wearing high heels. Young girls shouldn't wear high heels. You're supposed to.
Says who?
Because you're supposed to. Your job as a parent is to keep your child as innocent as possible for as long as possible, and not to let them grow up too fast. And these are all things. These are all items of clothing that we associate with grown women. I mean, here's a question for you.
So what? A little girl can't mess around and put a bit of lipstick on.
They do that for mess. And here's a question for you, Mick. Would you have a problem if you? Do you have daughters yourself?
No, I don't have any. I don't have kids at all.
Okay, if you had a 10-year-old daughter or an 11-year-old daughter, would you let her wear a thong?
And now you're getting ridiculous.
No, that's not
now
good.
you're getting
It's a-
no, now
it's
you
a-
are getting ridiculous.
It's a piece
I
of.
I definitely wouldn't let them wear high heels or anything like that. Not when they're still developing as a child.
No, but a thong is a piece of clothing that is.
Hey, you're getting
no,
ridiculous.
I'm not getting ridiculous.
You are.
I'm not getting
You are.
ridiculous. It's a piece of clothing that is worn by women all the time. Yeah. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's.
I don't think I would. But like I say, with the child's wearing inappropriate clothing and all that as well, like I said, they're getting their inspiration from the likes of Cardi B and all that, like watching their music videos and all that as well. To they want to copy that, if you know what I mean.
All right, Mick. Thanks.
That's another issue there. Yeah, it's good to hear from you anyway. Keep up the good work.
Thanks very much indeed, Mick. Good to talk to you. 085 825 2626 is our WhatsApp number. We'd love to hear from you on this and find out whether or not you would have an issue with preteen girls wearing bikinis, because this story has blown up in the UK. New Look has been accused of sexualizing kids. The high street chain is flogging the two-piece swimsuits in its children's 915 department. Available in a range of bright colours, the bikinis feature bras with moulded triangle cups, matching skimpy bottoms, which are secured by ties on one side. Now, I'm looking at it, and it's a young girl's bikini, but people are making an issue out of it. People are saying that these kids are being sexualized and all of that.
Yeah, but John makes a very valid point on text, and he says, surely by padding the bikini, it's making the kids more adult-like. I mean, I don't get that as well. Whatever about the bikini, the padding on it, trying to give a young girl, curves and shape and boobs before she even has them. And the question is, why are they padded? And on what parts of the set does the padding occur? This is apparently not just your average bikini. Well, no, I don't know much about bikinis, even for grown women. I assume most of them are padded in some way, are they?
Some would be. It depends on the woman wearing it, I suppose. 085 825 2626 is our WhatsApp number if you want to get involved in this conversation. Do you have any issue with a child wearing a bikini, a young girl? Because as I said already, if there are, we know there are deviants in society, but that doesn't mean they're out, specifically hanging around beaches.
No, so if that was the case, never bring your child to the beach ever. That's because
exactly
we don't know where the perverts are. Now, Laura kind of agrees with me on WhatsApp voice note.
085 825 2626 is our WhatsApp number. Here is Laura.
I agree with Jeremy, and keeping kids innocent as long as you can. And to be honest with you, okay, preteens, when they're not developing and there's nothing there, but by the time your child hits 13 or 14, 15 and they're developing, you'll be given out that they're wearing bikinis and telling them to cover it up, because then there will be something to see from the nasty perverts that would be looking.
All right, Laura, thanks very much indeed for your message. If you want to get a quick comment into us, send us a WhatsApp right now to 085 825 2626. 085 825 2626 if you want to get involved in this conversation. We're talking about the UK chain New Look, who've been slammed for selling bikinis for kids. One campaign group in the UK called Object has contacted New Look directly and demanded the bikinis are pulled from sale. The organisation, which opposes the sexual objectification of women, said, "Stop sexualising children, New Look. It's wrong and damaging. Take them away. We object." That's what they said.
Now, basically what they're doing is they're trying to tell parents how to dress their own children.
That's exactly my point, and that's exactly my argument, and that's exactly why I don't have a problem with this. Because kids of 9, 10, 11 aren't going in and buying these bikinis themselves.
No, it's
their parents who are buying the bikinis for them.
Yes.
So with that in mind, who are we to tell any parent what their child can and can't wear? 085 825 2626 is our WhatsApp number if you want to get involved in this conversation. Sandra says they do hang around beaches anywhere that there are children. Now, that may be the case, Sandra. They can hide in plain sight at beaches. But as we said a couple of minutes ago, if you worry like that your child is going to be, that there's going to be somebody hanging around to look at your child, then you should never bring your children outside the door.
No, that's absolutely ridiculous. That's not a good enough argument not to do it. I mean, as a parent, you have to make decisions on how to protect your children. You have to decide whether or not, whether or not you believe you're putting your child in harm's way. And I don't believe that. It's dramatic to say that if you put your child in a bikini, you'll put them in harm's way. However, with the advent of camera phones and with everybody having a camera phone at the moment, you would hate to think that if your 10-year-old daughter was on a beach in a bikini, that someone would take a photograph and it could be used on a website somewhere.
Yeah, of course you would. But don't take your kids out if you're worried like that. 085 825 2626. Here's a comment on our Facebook. I never thought too much about bikinis on a child. I know I made my daughter wear swimsuits, preferably covering as much as possible so they wouldn't burn. It was practical choice, not a fashion choice. Now, That makes a little bit of sense. But then what about the little boys? I suppose they wear T-shirts and stuff like that.
Hey, Sinead has an interesting take on this on WhatsApp voice note.
Okay, 085 825 2626 is the number.
Hi guys, I have a 4-year-old and I was shopping there at the weekend and I actually thought the shorts for her age were quite short, quite skimpy. I prefer even the longer shorts on the 4-year-old. Now when she gets to 9, I'm not quite sure. I prefer more if it was a bikini, I prefer more the kind of short crop top and the little shorts and for hanging around the beach and the pool, whatever. As regards padding, I don't know I don't think the intention is to make it more grown up. I think the intention maybe is when it gets cold, that it just gives you a bit of an extra layer. And that's what I'd be thinking anyway. Thanks, guys.
All right, thanks very much indeed. 085 825 2626 is our WhatsApp number, and you can also be a caller like Aoife, who's on the line. And Aoife, you sent a message a while ago. Jeremy, I can't see it from here.
She has 3 girls. Her 14-year-old wears a bikini on holidays, and her 9 and 11-year-old don't. Now, let's see why they don't.
Why don't they, Aoife?
My younger kids, they don't like wearing them. They rather wear those kind of t-shirts, the t-shirts that cover them, so they don't like getting sunburned. So that's the only reason they don't wear them. I have no issue in buying them for them if they wanted to wear them. They just don't like wearing them.
Yeah, well, that's fair enough. But if one of them said they wanted a bikini, you'd get it.
Yeah, I wouldn't buy a padded one. I don't know why they would be padded. I think that's a bit ridiculous. But I certainly wouldn't buy a padded one for a child. But I would buy them a bikini if they wanted a bikini.
Sorry, did you just say you'd allow your 9-year-old to wear a bikini?
Yeah.
But she's a child.
Yeah, not like not in the shape of the love heart shape, right? Just like a vest top, like a half and half. Like, yeah, of course I would. But if she wanted to wear them.
But at 9 years of age, she's still a child. She hasn't developed yet. Should she not? And I'm not saying she should be wearing Peppa Pig swimsuits around like that. But should she not be wearing a swimsuit at that age?
Well, if she wanted, she wears shorts and as a t-shirt, as I said, when she's gone swimming. But on holidays, it's warm out, and there's nothing sexual about a bikini on a small child. They're like, it's all that's showing is their belly.
And that's the bit I can't get my head around with this conversation. When this organisation in the UK demanding that they stop the sexualisation of children. I can't get my head around. I don't understand.
Yeah,
how...
I mean, there's no cleavage. They don't have a cleavage.
No,
there's nothing sexy at all about them in a bikini. Like, I mean, they have bikinis with Peppa Pig on them. They have them with like Dora the Explorer and all like that. There's absolutely nothing whatsoever sexual about them. And anybody who thinks that there's anything sexual about, there's something wrong with them.
And that's exactly the point. I really can't get my head around how people can say this is sexualizing children just for a piece of clothing. Lauren, thank you very much indeed. 085 825 2626 is our WhatsApp number if you would like to get involved in this conversation, because we want to move on to something else in just a moment. Let's have a listen to this WhatsApp voice note from Kira.
Hi, Kira here. Sorry I can't come on. I have a 9-year-old daughter and I wouldn't like her to wear a bikini, especially in public. At 9 years old, girls' bodies are starting to take shape, and especially if they look older for their age. Also, I believe that if you start letting them wear bikinis in public, then they're going to have no problem wearing these skimpy clothes that teenagers are wearing now. Love the show, lads. Best of luck.
Thank you very much indeed, Kira. You're listening to Opinions Matter.